Toyota Center in downtown Houston. FSN Houston presents Rockets basketball. And tonight, the Rockets take on the Atlanta Hawks. Hi, everybody. I'm Bill Worrell. Good to have you with us tonight as the Rockets play another home game. They are hot right now. The Rockets, one of the hottest teams in the NBA, have won 14 of their last 18 games, including a big win over the Cleveland Cavaliers a couple of nights ago. So they want to keep it going against a young, athletic Atlanta team coming in here tonight. And Clyde Drexler, this Atlanta team lost to Cleveland last night in Atlanta, so this is the second of a back-to-back, but they still have a lot of talented athletes.
Well, they're very young, very talented. They have 6 players who were drafted in the top 10 players in the entire draft. So they got a lot of individual talent. Their challenge, Bill, is to mesh that talent together for the benefit of their team. And so far, they're the 8th seed in the Eastern Conference playoff. I think they're doing a pretty good job.
Well, the go-to guys for both teams matching up. Tracy McGrady tonight for Houston and Joe Johnson for Atlanta.
Well, both of these guys are perennial all-stars. Joe Johnson making the team for the 2nd straight season. Look at the numbers, they're very similar. Both of these guys can light it up. Tracy McGrady, we know what Tracy can do. Look at him, just elevating over the top of the defender, making it happen, making something out of nothing. And when he's healthy, we know he can do that. He can shoot the three-pointer. Joe Johnson, on the other hand, Joe can shoot the ball as well. He's a dream teamer. He's one of those guys, nothing flashy, but he just gets the job done. Averaging over 21 points a game, Joe Johnson is the anchor for this Atlanta Hawk team.
Yao Ming has been playing awfully good basketball this season. He'll go against a rookie, but not an ordinary rookie. This was a first-round draft choice, Al Horford, from the national champion Florida team. He's playing bigger than most rookies play.
Well, back-to-back champion Florida Gator. 6'10", but he's got a big game. Look at the height difference. Yao has the advantage against every center in the league, but Yao Ming has been too dominant, too big, too skilled up. There he is with the jump shot, nothing to it. With the great pass from Bonzi, throw down. Did he jump? Oh, yes, he did. On the other hand, Al Horford, he is relentless. Here he is on the board, young legs. He's fresh, he's 6'10", he's got great jumping ability. And let me tell you something, he's got the heart of a lion. He's a good-looking rookie, averaging about 9 points, 10 rebounds a game. And let me tell you something, he's a force on the field.
Time for the Toyota keys to the game.
The Rockets have got a streak to the break. Keep streaking, baby. Won 9 out of the last 10. Keep it going. Protect the ball. This Hawks team leads the league in steals. They got great legs. And more Yao, and more Yao.
Yeah, and I think the Rockets need to jump on top early, Clyde. Don't let this young team get going.
Don't let them get going. Don't give them any confidence. Put them away. Let's make it 6 in a row.
I think that's a good idea. We'll be back with a tip-off in just a moment. Houston versus Atlanta coming up next on FSN Houston. Again, everybody, and welcome back to Toyota Center, downtown Houston, as we have Atlanta and the Houston Rockets tonight. Let's check the Southwest Airlines starting lineups. And for the Atlanta Hawks, a young team, 21-25 in the Eastern Conference. Marvin Williams, Josh Smith, Al Horford, Joe Johnson, and Anthony Johnson. For the Houston Rockets, one of the hottest teams in the league in the 08 portion of the schedule. Shane Battier, Louis Scola, Yao Ming, Tracy McGrady, and Rafer Alston. That starting lineup has won 5 games in a row. So we're just about ready to go tonight. The Rockets trying for their 30th win of the season against the Atlanta Hawks. And we'll be back with the tip-off in just a moment on FSN Houston. Again, everybody, and welcome back to Toyota Center. They're announcing the Rockets starting lineups. Let's go courtside and Bart Innish.
Well, Bill, you know, for a large stretch of the season, the Rockets have seemed like a better team, a more focused team on the road than they are at home. And that's what was so nice about that win over the Cavs on Thursday, is that for 48 minutes, the Rockets played with great intensity and got a big win over a very good team. And that's the way they played during this stretch, which brings us to our Geico quote of the game. It comes from Rockets head coach Rick Adelman. He says, "We finished games a lot better. We've defended down the stretch, and we've executed and made shots. That's the big thing. That's how you win close games." And that Cleveland game, you just knew the Cavs were going to make a run there at the end, and they did. They cut that game to 6 points. Over the final 3 minutes, though, it was the Rockets that made the big plays to get that win, and that's a trend they're hoping will continue here leading into the All-Star break, Bill.
Okay, Bart, thank you so much. Yeah, Rick very happy right now with the way his club is playing, and he wants him to keep it going as everybody, even the young rookies, are playing good right now and adding to this roster and the playing order that he has put together. Down at the other end, a very talented team. And there you see the man, Mike Woodson, out of the University of Indiana, where he won a national championship, played a couple of seasons here in Houston, and we enjoyed having he and his wife, Terry, as members of this community. He is a first-class guy, and Mike was a heck of a basketball player, one of the better shooters around. And, in fact, he and Terry have 2 daughters that are seniors in high school now. They're all state in Georgia, and they're 2 of the world-class volleyball players around. So I'm very proud of his family and what they have accomplished.
Very athletic, and his assistant coach there, longtime friend and NBA player, Larry Drew.
Yeah, Larry Drew, and also down the way they've got a good coaching staff. Bob Bender's down there also, and Herb Brown. You remember Herb, who used to be a coach with the Rockets back in the 70s, Larry Brown's brother. Well, the Hawks don't look forward to coming to Houston. They've lost 14 of the last 15 games here, including the last 8 in a row. So the Rockets certainly want to keep that going here tonight.
Absolutely, as they've been playing so well. And here's a game that they have a chance to win at home, to run that streak to 6 in a row. And if they can continue to do that before the All-Star break, anything can happen the second half of the season.
I like what the Atlanta has done with this team, though. They really kind of broke it up. They went and got an established player in Joe Johnson. They've been drafting superior athletes in the last couple of years. Josh Smith is really something to see. If you haven't been able to see him close up, you'll enjoy watching that young man play. And Yao eventually wins the tip.
Josh is one of the most athletic players in the league. He also won an NBA Slam Dunk title about a couple of years ago.
Anthony Johnson came over in a trade with Dallas. He's guarding Alston now. They swing it around, one extra pass to Battier. Battier had 3 threes against Cleveland a couple of nights ago in that victory over the Cavs. And there's Scola with another hustle play.
I tell you what, I was here for that game, Bill, the TNT game. We were not on it. But let me tell you something. Battier came up big. He played great defense on LeBron. He made the open shots that made the difference in that last ball game.
Yep. Especially in that third quarter. Marvin Williams with the miss. Williams, another one of those off a championship. And there's a steal by Smith.
Very athletic, playing the power forward position.
Joe Johnson flares out to the right wing. Yao comes to pick him up, and they throw it away. 2-on-2 fast break. Austin's got Scola on the wing. What a great shot. Smith, the second leading shot blocker in the NBA, came over but couldn't get to Scola.
Believe me, he goes for everything. You don't block that many shots without going for them.
Pass inside to Horford, back outside again to Joe Johnson. Takes it inside and shoots it.
Joe Johnson, just one of the premier mid-range players, mid-range game players in the game. Very solid, nothing flashy. He just gets it done.
Draper has done a brilliant job over the last 5 games of directing this Houston team. And there's T-Mac from the outside for 2. Well, in the last game, Tracy didn't start out very well, but he had a big third quarter. He ended up 3 for 11. There's a turnover. But 3 of those 11 came to start the third quarter.
When the Rockets desperately needed his help, he was there for them. It's just good to have him on the floor, Bill. He does so much.
Scola taking it inside for 2. The officials for tonight's game, Joe Forte, Phil Robinson, and Scott Wall. Wall, Robinson, and Forte, the officials for tonight's game. We had Joe's son in a game about 2 weeks ago. It's a family affair.
Keeping it in the family.
Josh Smith with a left-handed shot.
He wants to attack the basket.
Yeah, he does.
He can shoot the jumper, but he'd rather attack the basket, and he's a lot more efficient when he does.
Brady with a miss, and Horford with the rebound. Anthony Johnson in and out, won't go, and Scola collects the carom.
Think about the
Rockets.
They got all these wonderful, talented rookies that they've got. At the point guard, you got Anthony Johnson, who's a good, solid starter, but you got A.C. Loss and Lee Stoudemire.
There's a foul as Yao will go to the line. Well, they're grooming them.
Yeah, they're grooming him, but Johnson has outplayed those guys, and he commands the starting position.
Josh Smith called for his first foul of the game, and Yao Ming will be at the line. Yao against Cleveland had a big game against Drunas Ilgauskas. Yao was 9 of 19. He had 22 points and 12 rebounds in that game.
And the funny thing is, when Yao plays against a truly tall center, you can see the look on his face like he loves that.
Yeah, yeah.
That's real basketball.
Well, they tend to, Ilgauskas is 7'3", so he tried to play behind Yao, and that's not that difficult for him.
No one can guard the Great Wall one-on-one.
Al Horford from the outside misses, and Scola gets the rebound. 8-2 run by the Rockets to start the game. Down to Yao again. He'll work on Horford. Rafer lays it up off the glass, won't go, and he just went and got his own miss. Good hustle by Rafer. Alston out to McGrady. T for 3 and misses, and Scola runs it down. Another offensive rebound. Rafer, Yao, point blank range. Yao Ming, great position on Al Horford.
Yao taking young Horford to school on the low post. That's a tall order for anybody, especially a rookie at only 6'10".
Well, Scola's off to a great start. He's got all these rebounds, giving the Rockets second opportunities, third opportunities for the last basket. Rockets 10-2 lead, and Atlanta calls a timeout.
Welcome back to Toyota Center. They lead the Atlanta Hawks 10-2. To get your family packs, 150-piece puzzle featuring Yao Ming, Tracy McGrady, and Shane Battier. Bill, back to you.
Well, Bart, here in the last few weeks, that puzzle's starting to get a little clearer now.
Yes, it is. And I'm going to get my wife this for Valentine's Day, by the way.
Well,
I recommend you do the same.
Hopefully you'll get her some chocolates and some roses, too.
At least you remembered it this year, Bart.
No roses, just the puzzle.
That's because he got it for free. There's a basket by Atlanta, only their second basket of the game, and Rafer Alston goes back to the little teardrop.
I like that. Rafer is using his skill, getting to the basket.
Rockets 5 for 8 to start the game. Atlanta 2 for 7. And the Rockets have 8 points in the paint already. From the wing.
Horford can shoot the ball. I mean, I am really impressed with this rookie. He's almost averaging a double-double.
Yeah.
He's real. He's only going to get better and better.
He and Joakim Noah were the two big guys inside for Florida in their back-to-back championships. There's Yao taking it inside, turns back, and Josh Smith came over and helped defend him on the double team. Outside to Joe Johnson. And Johnson misses, and Scola gets his 5th rebound already in this game.
Scola is so active. The reason he gets him, Bill, is because he goes for everything.
Now there's a double team coming over now. An extra pass away for Alston. Alston from the corner for a three-pointer. Rafer.
If Rafer keeps doing that, they're not going to leave him.
No, they won't. Rockets were 8 for 27 behind the arc in that Cleveland game for 30%. And they had to rally to do that in the second half when they scored 32 points in the third quarter. Woo. Inside for 2. Joe Johnson's hard to stop.
He's just very efficient. When you look at it, it doesn't look like he's doing much, but you look at the score sheet, he's got 27 points.
What a great pass from T-Mac.
And the Rockets offense is clicking on all cylinders right now.
Yeah. Doing what they wanted to do, get off to a good start. A late whistle and a foul on T-Mac, his first of the game.
You'll remember Joe Johnson used to be with the Phoenix Suns.
Yep.
3 years ago, signed a big free agent deal with the Hawks, but he was a perfect complement to Steve Nash, Amari Stoudemire, Sean Marion. They had a very good year the year he was there.
Well, they worked the sign and trade with Phoenix.
I still think they missed the presence of Joe Johnson in their lineup because he's a big two-guard at 6'7", who can do a lot of things on the floor.
This guy behind me just put his thumb up in the air and said, "Gig him." I think he's here to see the old Aggie AC Law, or the young Aggie.
Young Aggie.
Once an Aggie, always an Aggie. Years ago, they called him the former Aggie. He's not. He's an Aggie for life, but he led the Texas Aggies back out of the woods and into the bright lights of the NCAA playoffs last 2 years. There's Yao with a turnaround and a miss. AC Law is going to be a good one.
Yes, he is. Just a matter of time.
Some great collegiate games. I remember some comeback wins. One over Texas, another one over Kansas. AC Law had great games in that one. He misses the outside shot. That's one thing he may have to work on a little bit.
May have to? That was ugly. For a point guard, you got to be able to put the ball in the basket.
Yao's got Horford pinned. Got it. Boy, if Horford allows him to pin him down that close to the basket, it's going to be a long night. What
Yao is doing is he's walking toward the basket, and then he stops and turns around. He catches Horford off balance.
Got 9 lead for Houston. 4:48 left to play in the first quarter. AC Law taking it through the lane and back outside again. Marvin Williams to the middle over Yao. Yao, good defense, couldn't come up with a rebound. Taking it inside to Josh Smith for 2 and 1.
Does he elevate or what?
Yeah,
look like he jumped off of a trampoline.
Terrific athlete. And Josh Smith at 6'9", 235. Came straight out of high school 4 years ago.
Jumped outside the semicircle with 2 feet and threw it down and took the contact and act like they never touched it.
Jaja Pachulia has checked into the game.
Pachulia was a starter last season for the Hawks.
Yep.
He's a valuable sub.
He was born in Georgia. Not the one here, but the one near Russia.
Absolutely.
1912 Rockets.
You talk about the NBA being a global game.
Yao with a great pass from T-Mac. So many little things that Tracy does. Yeah, add up to big things.
When he's on the floor, everybody's game is a lot smoother.
Pachulia from the outside short. He knew he'd missed it, followed it, put it in.
That's one thing Pachulia does well. He's a decent shooter, but he is relentless. He never quits.
Yep.
Very aggressive.
Good offensive rebounder. And they didn't get over to Scola fast enough. They pride themselves in their defense. This young Atlanta team is number 10 in points allowed in the NBA and number 13 in opposing field goal percentage. So they've really done a great job. Their team last year was very bad defensively. There's a whistle. And a foul on Yao Ming.
You get all these talented young guys, and what they have to do, their challenge is to play well collectively. A lot of individual talent, but this is a team game.
Josh Childress taking it inside, and
what a good move by Josh Childress. Whenever you have a shot blocker, you take it right to him. Go right to his chest, because you're not going to get it off, so you might want to initiate the contact.
Josh Smith was the first player taken in the first round 4 years ago in the draft, and then Childress was the second player taken. They had 2 number 1 picks in the first round, and they picked up Childress with the second pick.
Childress went to Stanford, very good collegiate career. They've got some great young players. I talked to Hawks general manager Billy Knight, and he's impressed with what they're doing. He thinks Mike Woodson is doing a great job as head coach. He says they're making strides in their game, and eventually, if they can make the playoffs this year, they look to eventually get over that 50-win mark, perhaps the season after.
They're in the playoffs, so they're 5 games below 500, and they're in the number 7 in the playoff pecking order in the East. Rockets 9 games over 500 and not in it. There's McGrady taking it in on AC Law. Tipped up and in by the hustling Battier. And look at Battier get back and cover up Joe Johnson after making that basket.
And that's what Shane Battier does for you night in and night out.
Boy, is that good or what?
That's darn good. Plays his role so well.
Childress back to Pachulia. Misses. And a loose ball foul is called on Josh Smith, and that's his second foul of the game. We have a timeout, 2:46 left to play in the first quarter. It's the Rockets 25, the Hawks 16 on FSN Houston.
Rockets lead the Hawks 25-16 late in the first period here at Toyota Center.
Got a lot of
Rocket power dancers.
girls and power dancers ready to go on.
They can light up the building.
The Rockets, as we told you, one of the hottest teams in the NBA. And in January, look what the Rockets have done since January the 3rd, 14-3, along with the Utah Jazz.
This is the team that still has the capacity.
Landry takes it up and in, and he's fouled by Pachulia.
You see what the Rockets are doing? They're coming out to receive the ball and just giving them a simple back cut. And the Hawks are not responding, but Tracy McGrady is such a great passer, he can make it happen. Look at that.
And Landry, the difference in Landry and everybody else, once he gets the ball, he's going to dunk it.
He's strong.
There's no blocks.
He plays above the rim, and that's the difference with Carl Landry.
Exactly. Missed the free throw, but it went over everybody's head, and Raper says, let me add a three to it. A 5-point play.
Skip is 2 for 2 from three-point range.
30-16, Houston with this lead game. 2:15 left to play in the quarter. Down to Horford. Swings it over to AC Long, and he hits. AC out of high school in Dallas, Texas. Dallas Kimball was an excellent basketball player. Went to Texas A&M. And Billy Gillespie really came over to A&M and got AC Long going.
Say something. He got Billy Gillespie that job in Kentucky.
He certainly did, didn't he? Good point. In fact, Gillespie ought to be sending him a Valentine's gift. Pachulia rolled it over. Turnover by Atlanta. That's the best point I've heard you make in a long time. That's perfect.
That's what good players do for you.
Yeah, he got Gillespie all the way to Kentucky.
Which is not a bad job if you can get it.
Billy probably thought, well, I'm not going to have AC anymore, so I might as well get out of here.
You don't know.
But boy, the Aggies have plenty of players playing now. There's Landry. Lost the ball, and Horford picks it up.
Good patience by Al Horford. Didn't do what most rookies do. Turn it over.
There's a lot of fans, as old as we are, can remember Al's daddy Tito, who played high school ball here in Houston, and there was a foul call.
Is that Tito of the Jackson 5, or is that
Tito Horford?
Who was a University of Houston player?
Tito signed with the U of H, with the University of Houston, and then went up the road with Dale Brown to LSU.
And Tito was a 7-footer.
Yeah. Then he dropped out of LSU and ended up at Miami, where he ended up playing. And so, but Tito played his high school ball here in Houston, and then Al has won the 2 national championships at Florida. I'm sure his daddy's told him a little bit about Houston.
I'm sure. I tell you, he's done a great job with young Horford here. Because he's got a great NBA body, 2 back-to-back championships at Florida. Come on, it doesn't get any better. He's having a breakout rookie season. He's a starter already.
We got the ball tipped to him, put it up and in.
I guess he heard us talking about it.
That's right. 30-21, 56 seconds. Scola with a crossover. The big man who missed the shot. Did all the right things, but didn't make the basket.
Great move, though, by Scola.
He does have a great move.
Showing some skill.
He put the back to you. He's got some good post-up.
Oh, he'll spin off you and finish well.
Taking it inside, missed the shot. Pachulia tried to keep it alive. Horford comes up with it. He misses. Rockets trying to get a rebound, and Bonzi knocks it to T-Mac. T-Mac will pull it up, take the air out. There's about a 3-second difference. Shot clock, game clock. Takes a look. They're trying to foul him because they had a foul to give.
Josh Childress is having trouble finding Tracy McGrady.
So at 9.2, both teams will be in the penalty. The final 9 seconds. And they're going to come in with Mario West out of Georgia Tech. And he'll come in for Pachulia. Play inside, and a foul is whistled on Atlanta. Well, that would have brought the house down.
Yes, the Rockets are executing really well offensively. You can tell they're more familiar with each other. Seems like they're having fun out there. The chemistry has improved, and you got to give head coach Rick Adelman a lot of credit for making this adjustment before the midseason.
Well, he had to rebuild the team, didn't he, Clyde?
Yes, he did.
Actually, you know, you had Steve Francis and Mike James signed in the offseason. They were supposed to be in the rotation and big parts of the rotation. They didn't pan out, so then he had to find somebody else. Luther Head's been hurt. He went to a couple of rookies on the bench that had played. Scola has come in and played very well. Carl Landry has played well. So
Brooks.
Aaron Brooks. And
Bonzi's had a good year for the Rockets so far.
Bonzi just really has played well. So he's had to revamp his team, literally. 7 seconds. To get back now, Childress will give it up to Joe Johnson. Johnson from the parking lot with a miss on the three. And that's the end of the quarter. So Atlanta ended the quarter on a 5-1 run the last 2 minutes, but the Rockets do score 31 points and lead it by 10.
Great first quarter for the Houston Rockets. They shoot 57% from the field, and they lead the Hawks by 10. Getting underway in the second quarter. Let's go back over to Bill and Clyde.
All right, AC Law and Aaron Brooks will match up. That'll be something to see. Horford stays in the game with Childress, Williams, and Pachulia. T-Mac stays in. Chuck Hayes will match up with Horford.
Rockets playing a little 2-3 zone here.
Marvin Williams, tough shot. Landry with good defense. Horford with the rebound. And a fresh 24 for Atlanta. AC Law going to be short. Aaron Brooks fighting him off, and Landry comes up with the rebound. They get it ahead to Bonzi. Great pass from T-Mac.
That's just a great pass from Tracy McGrady. The vision of Tracy McGrady is so underrated.
Points in the paint for Houston. The Rockets also have 9 assists already in this game. Now remember, against Cleveland, there's a bad miss by Childress.
Got an unorthodox release.
Bonzi to the middle and draws the foul, and he will shoot. But against Cleveland, the Rockets had 29 assists. That is incredible.
That means they're very unselfish. The ball is moving at all times, and guys are making shots for either layups or mid-range jumpers. And that's what it takes to beat the good teams.
And Bonzi came off that bench for possibly his best game of the season. Look what he did against the Cavaliers. We had that up there for just a moment, but he really was 6 for 10 from the field. He had 13 points and 10 rebounds in 30 minutes.
Bonzi's a very valuable player off the bench. He's providing some real production for the Rockets and leadership as a veteran.
He said on the last road trip that he moved his game outside too much. Rick Adelman had said, told him, why don't you get back in that paint where you're more effective?
Yeah, that's where he makes his living.
Johnson with a miss. Chuck Hayes. And Childress tips it out. So the Rockets get the basketball. Landry, Aaron Brooks, Grady Hayes, and Bonzi. And you know, the Rockets haven't been shy. There's McGrady putting up a three and missing. Haven't been shy. There's Landry going up and getting the rebound.
Well, Landry has a lot of go-get-it in this game, doesn't he?
Really does. T-Mac hits a long two.
When you get those second chance opportunities, the game's a whole lot easier.
The Rockets have 9 second chance points in this game. Tyronn Lue, who played here in Houston back in the 2004-2005 season. Bonzi seals off Childress, and he's fouled.
Bonzi's too big, too strong for Josh Childress. He's too much of an intimidating physical factor down on the low post. They're going to have to get a double team down there to help Childress out. See Bonzi just backing him down underneath the basket. And that's what he does best, Bill. That's why Bonzi's a force off the bench.
Right now they're doing a little teaching with Aaron Brooks.
Oh, yeah. Rick Adam's a great teacher. And the players usually love him. What a great guy.
Now Brooks is checking it with T-Mac. He's saying, now, where did you say you wanted me to be? And T-Mac saying, get over there in the corner is where you needed to be.
And he will get there in a hurry.
Who tutored you? I mean, who took you under his wing?
Are you kidding? I had to learn on the fly, Bill. Back then, everybody was so kind of insecure about their job. There wasn't a whole lot of tutoring going on.
Oh, really?
Point guards are usually the tutors. Guy Lewis was a tutor. The coaching staff really are the guys who mentor you.
Aaron Brooks with a long rebound. Tried to drive it inside on Tyronn Lue. Nothing there. And come back out to McGrady. McGrady on the crossover. What a great play by West. West takes it to the middle, and he's fouled by Hayes.
Good move by the rookie there to strip Tracy McGrady.
Yeah, you don't see that too often, do you?
You don't see that very often at all. Tracy's laughing, smiling, nose. Good hands.
Mario West out of Georgia Tech.
Now, next time Tracy, the rookie starting Tracy, he's going to have a different wrinkle in his game. I guarantee you. Sometimes with new guys coming to the league, you're not sure of what they can bring to the table.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's you got to wait and see. Mario West made the Hawks opening day roster. He was a roster. He was a trainee. He was invited into camp. Played in that Rocky Mountain Review for the Atlanta Hawks.
I tell you, the funniest guy when it came to talking about new guys in the league, illogical. A rookie would block this shot or something. What didn't happen very often. He would go, who is this guy?
Had no idea, did he?
Had no idea.
Chuck Hayes with a great putback on an offensive rebound. Yeah, Keem wasn't too into that.
And Clyde, I remember my rookie year with the Rockets, and it was about March. And Akeem, we were in practice, and I was out there on the practice court. Akeem looks at me and he goes, hey, you, number 50, I got you. It was all the way to March. He didn't even know his teammates' names.
So the opposing players have no chance.
No chance.
That's Matt Bullard, of course, from his perch on top. The bullseye, we'll be checking it out later. Aaron Brooks trying to take that layup in with the tall trees. And Landry gets it back. Boy, Landry and Hayes go for a ball. They just suck it up, don't they?
They run into each other.
That could be dangerous between those two guys. Great pass inside to Bonzi by T-Mac. T-Mac's just having his way with this game. He's having a lot of fun. He's having more fun setting everybody up. And the Rockets with a 40-24 lead, timeout on the court.
Rockets over the Hawks 40-24 here in the second period.
Yao Ming back into the game, so it'll be Yao, Battier, Brooks, Hayes, and Wells as T-Mac will take a rest. Rockets,
I didn't want to interrupt you, but Mutombo was talking to Carl Landry on the bench. There's your teacher. It's up to the experienced guys, the veterans, to kind of give the younger guys an upper hand. Mutombo, give him a lot of credit. Deke's still in great shape, not getting a lot of time this season, but he's got a great positive attitude, and if needed, he can still come out and provide a spark.
It shows you what, of course, the teaching. You want to listen to somebody like Dikembe Mutombo. He's been the defensive player in the NBA. umpteen million times in his career. He's second all-time in block shots behind only the great Hakeem Olajuwon. So you want to listen to what he has to say. Back to Josh Smith. Takes it up. He's fouled. He'll shoot 2. So, you know, when you sit there, the Hawks all time, remember John Koncak out of SMU played there in Atlanta. Dan Roundfield was a heck of a shot blocker. Free Rollins was a heck of a shot blocker.
Josh Smith is in the top 5 already.
Yeah, people forget about Koncak sometime, but remember when Koncak played along with Hakeem Olajuwon in the Southwest Conference, and the same time that he was at Arkansas.
Absolutely, Southwest Conference. He played at SMU, and they had Joe Klein at Arkansas. Scott Hastings before him.
Yeah, they had 3 good centers going then.
Yes, they did.
Aaron Brooks to the basket, gets it back. Down to Yao. Yao turns, takes a couple of steps, puts it up and in.
He's just got too much skill. It's just too imposing on the low block.
13-3 run by Houston to start the second quarter. And the biggest lead of the game for the Rockets, 20 points. Josh Smith outside at 6'9", and a whistle and a foul is called on Yao Ming. That's his second foul of the game.
And the Hawks trying to get something going. Their offense looks a little frantic. Josh Smith is very quick off the dribble. Look at the elevation and the hang time. You stay up there long enough, somebody's going to foul him and bail him out. And that's exactly what happened there.
The foul called on Yao. He kind of turned his hip towards Smith.
That's the old move that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar used to use. Yeah. He would hip you.
So Zaza Pachulia will check back into the lineup. And Al Horford was coming off the court, but now they want to take West. You know, Mario West signed a contract with the Harlem Globetrotters. No, he did, and decided this NBA is a better gig.
I would say he's a lot of
Globetrotters were here today. We've seen the act a million times.
And it's still great. Yeah. Wonderful. These guys are very talented. They're wonderful entertainers is what they are.
Remember Sweet Lou Dunbar?
Sweet Lou was one of the best.
He really was, and still lives here in Houston.
Right after Meadowlark Lemon was Sweet Lou.
Yeah. Aaron Brooks to the basket, finger rolls it up.
Yes, they were. My favorite was still, after Sweet Lou, my favorite was Curly. Love Curly. Yeah. Curly Neal.
He played with Goose Tatum.
Yeah.
Horford with a miss. Goose Tatum, Meadowlark Lemon, boy, they had some great. Aaron back over to Yao Ming now, looking for Bonzi. Still 11 seconds on the shot clock for the Rockets. 5 seconds. Double team. Bonzi goes to the basket for 2. You double team Yao now.
You know, the Rockets always have a cutter, and they're looking for that cutter a lot more now than they have been earlier in the season.
And the Rockets are doing a much better job of finishing off the shot now. Bonzi took that right to the basket. And a timeout taken by Atlanta. They are having trouble with the Rockets, down by 21 points. Rockets up by 21 points, 6:05 left in the second. Let's go to the bullseye.
Well, guys, on this last play, we noticed that Yao Ming was setting a pick and roll for Bonzi, and that pick and roll really just gives Yao a chance to roll to the basket and get in his position. Now, and let that pick and roll go. Now, as Bonzi swings the ball back to Aaron Brooks, they throw it inside, and here comes the double team. Now, stop it here. Here's the double team. You got 2 choices. You got a shooter right here, Aaron Brooks. You got a shooting spot right here, and you got a shooter in the corner. Now, Bonzi's not a good 3-point shooter, so he chooses to take it to the basket. Yao's a good enough passer to make that little pass. Nice finish for Bonzi. So when Yao's double teamed, you got two chances. You can either shoot the three-pointer or take it inside. And the Rockets' points in the paint, 28-10. I thought that was a good option by Bonzi to take it inside.
Yeah, you're right, Matt. They're picking out the right option tonight. Joe Johnson down to Horford. Horford tried to rush his shot. Pachulia with a rebound. Blocked by Battier.
I tell you what, Battier got the block, but give Yao Ming a lot of credit because he's in there intimidating everything. See, Horford throws it up before Yao can react.
Rockets are number 4 in the NBA in block shots per game. And the whistle is called on Aaron Brooks, a holding foul. Rockets on a 15-4 run right now, with 5:44 left to play in the second quarter. In this quarter, Atlanta's only 1 for 10 from the field. The Rockets defense, this group has done a terrific job.
Well, they're playing well on both ends of the court, Bill, and that's exactly what they should do against this Hawks team at home, trying to get their 6th win in a row.
Trying to post Aaron Brooks.
That's a novelty. Every team is going to try to do that.
Anthony Johnson with the basket. Johnson, a 10-year veteran, played with Dallas last year. Battier back out to Wells, still 9 seconds on the shot clock. Yao's got it where he likes it. Yao Ming, 12 points to lead the Rockets.
Right there, the defense was there. They were where they were supposed to be, but Yao just elevates right over the top, and he's got a great shooting touch. So even if you play great defense, he's still hard to stop.
The jump hook to his right and his left now, especially to that going to his right side, is a very high percentage shot. Well, that's going to be tough. Aaron needs to let somebody else come over there and tie up. Horford. Aaron, you're too small. You don't want to jump against him.
Oh, you don't think he can win that jump ball?
No.
The only way to win it is to steal it. Get up there quick.
Rafer Alston prepares to come into the game. And let's see, who's going to jump? Rafer has to wait to see if Aaron's going to jump against Al Horford. Oh, look at this.
He is. Yes.
Check out this discrepancy. The little guy.
About 10 inches.
Oh, he almost got it. Josh Smith from the three-point line. And Pachulia has always been one of the top offensive rebounders in the NBA. He gets another one there. Takes it in. Sets up Joe Johnson with the jumper baseline. He's short. Chuck Hayes out-jumps Josh Smith.
I don't see that very often.
If I were Aaron, I'd take a shot. You're getting ready to be substituted for. Go ahead and get a good one up there.
You're reading his mind. You know
Well,
that.
he should have taken that three.
He's very unselfish.
Johnson underneath, or Anthony Johnson.
Johnson and Johnson backcourt.
And a timeout taken by the Houston Rockets. 4 minutes left to play here in the first half. Rockets are up 48-29. Rockets up 48-29 with 4 minutes left to go in the first half. Want to remind you, Monday night, a big game coming up for the Rockets. They'll have the Portland Trailblazers in Toyota Center, and Portland is just right behind the Houston Rockets in that battle for the 8th seed. There is Golden State virtually in a tie with Houston for the 8th and final playoff seeding. And Denver is just ahead of Golden State in Houston, but you see Portland right now on the outside looking in. So a big game for both Houston and Portland as we get near the All-Star break.
Absolutely. The Rockets, as you can see, moving up the ladder in the playoff picture. You have a chance for the season to really even improve upon that.
Well, the tiebreaker is so big, too, as close as these teams are. So the Rockets want to take care of Portland in case there's a tiebreaker there. And they have to beat Golden State one more time to even that series up.
Yep.
Nice pass by Bonzi. Oh, kiss pass to Hayes.
That's just wonderful execution.
Bonzi has just come on strong in the last couple of weeks. And an offensive foul on Anthony Johnson.
So it's not even halftime yet. The Rockets already have 14 assists tonight.
Yeah, that's amazing what they've been able to do, sharing the basketball.
When you get layups, let me tell you something. It's a fun game.
Rockets have moved up to number 16 in the NBA in assists per game at 21. There's Battier with a basket from the outside. You know, he's looking for his shot a lot more.
Much more aggressive. I think Shane is realizing that they need his offensive production on the floor.
That Cleveland game, Battier was 6 for 11. He took 11 shots in that game. I like that.
I love that. He needs to shoot at least 11, 12 shots every game. You got to be aggressive and you got to be a force if you're going to be on the floor.
Now working on Pachulia.
Call the carry. You don't call carry in the NBA very often, do we?
Well, they say the only time they like to call it is when you're trying to gain an advantage.
I've
never seen that called on Yao before.
Neither have I. He did it, but you don't see it called very often.
Josh Smith outside. Julius did everything right but missed the basket.
A lot of style points.
Yeah, nice little spin move.
No substance.
Atlanta 3 for 16 in this quarter. And a whistle and a foul on Jaja. Luis Scola will check into the game for Chuck Hayes. Good minutes for Chuck. The Chuck wagon in there for 10 minutes. He had 4 points and 3 rebounds. And Bonzi Wells with good minutes. 9 points and 11 minutes for Bonzi, along with 4 assists.
I think the Rockets are really using their rotation smartly.
Yeah.
Getting everyone involved. They're going to be a lot fresher in the second half of the season.
And finding time to get the 2 rookies some minutes. Scola's become a real load on offense now to try to contain.
Or he rebounds, he's physical. I love Luis Scola.
Yeah. And he will be at the All-Star weekend playing on that all-rookie team. He and Al Horford will be teammates. Scola will be the oldest rookie.
He's only 27. Come on. He's a young man.
Check out the rookie rebounders. Horford has started most all of the season, so he's got a lot more minutes. Scola's starting to gain on him a little bit, but Luis misses both free throws.
You look at what he does the second half of the season, and that'll be an indication of what he's capable of for a full season.
Well, you know, when you talk about rookies hitting the rookie wall, there's Yao tipping it outside. He's played a lot of games in Europe.
Yes, he has.
So it's not like he's coming straight from college.
Been a professional for about 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
Also, he was the European Player of the Year last year. Really helped.
Battier gets open. Misses the shot. Joe Johnson will bring it up. 1:33 left to play in the first half. Marvin Williams tried to attack the Great Wall and was rebuffed. 3 of 18 from the field for Atlanta. Yao from way outside.
Well, the Great Wall can do that too. If you leave him open, top of the key, that's in his range.
14 points, 5 rebounds for Yao Ming. Rockets up by 25. Biggest lead of the game for Houston. Marvin Williams with the left-handed shot. So far, Joe Johnson has only 8 points in this game, and Josh Smith has only 5. So the Rockets have done a good job on their top 2 scorers.
Yes, they have. They've limited their opportunities.
Draper with the miss. 35 seconds. Joe Johnson taking it inside, and Yao was waiting for him. Brady goes for the steal.
See the Hawks are purely frustrated.
12 seconds on the shot clock. Knocked out of bounds by the Rockets. Rockets are so tough defensively. They're number 4 in points allowed in the NBA. They allow only 93 a game, and number 2 in opponents' field goal percentage. So that facet of their game hasn't changed.
Hadn't changed. They've only gotten better offensively. I think they got a lot of room for improvement also the second half, because these guys now know what's expected of them. He's got his rotations together. He knows which players are going to perform.
Yao sits down with 2 fouls. They don't want him to pick up another one here. Landry. And they get it 7 seconds. Great pass by Alston to Scola. Oh, how about that play?
Heads up play by Rafer Alston. And that's what point guards do.
That's going to be a charging foul on Atlanta, on Joe Johnson. And the Rockets will have .7 to get the final shot.
And who gets the charge? Louis Scola. He scores 2 on the other end, comes down on the other end, and gets a charge.
How about this quarter of defense for Houston? Rockets hold Atlanta to only 10 second quarter points, and this matches the fewest points allowed by the Rockets in the first half this season. Only 31. What a great play to end the half for Houston, and the Rockets lead at 56-31. Stay with us. The Toyota Halftime Report is next. Don't go away.
Toyota Halftime Report. Kevin Eschenfelder with you in our FSN Houston studios. What a first half of basketball for the Houston Rockets. They've got a 25-point lead at halftime, 56-31. Well, the Rockets and Yao Ming doing their part, not only in the community to help out, but Yao Ming doing it all over the world. Basketball without borders. For more, here's Bill Worrell.
Basketball without borders not only makes an impact on the court, but also has community outreach programs designed to help at the most basic level. This week, Yao and his fellow NBA players were involved in 3 such events. The highlight, the creation of an NBA Cares Live, Learn, and Play Center. And for several years now, Yao Ming has been involved with the Special Olympics. So it was only fitting that he host a group of children from the Shanghai area and treat them to some fun on the basketball court, with the help of Rockets teammate Luther Head.
Hey, that's a jump shot. I see. Fade away.
One of the most impactful messages Yao has made in recent years is on HIV/AIDS education. In fact, it has been 3 years since Yao Ming filmed this public service announcement with Lakers star Magic Johnson to promote more awareness in China.
3 years after it was made, it's still getting shown, and it's still really the benchmark, the gold standard against which all our other prevention measures get rated.
Yao realizes there are few voices that can reach the masses, so he takes it upon himself to lend his time and efforts to draw attention to a growing epidemic in Asia and the need for compassion as well as education.
This is not just about people like you. Also means you need to make them feel success, but you do the best you can do and give something back.
Welcome back to Toyota Center, where the Rockets 56 points on 56% shooting. So that's their halftime high for shooting this season. They held the Hawks to a season-low 10 points in the second quarter. And, boy, that passing, the Rockets already have 17 assists, Clyde, in the first half.
You got to love it. Very unselfish. The offense is flowing. There's a layup by Scola. Another layup by Yao. Look at the layup drill. There's Carl Landry on the back cut. The Rockets moving the ball, knowing what their teammates are. There's Bundy for another. Is it a layup drill up in here? Look at that. From Bundy to Chuck. They're just clicking on all cylinders. There's a great hustle by Rayford to get it to Scola. The Rockets are outplaying the Hawks in every area of the game.
And you don't need Yao and you don't need McGrady to score that many points. They're spreading it around. Everybody's in on the action.
That's the recipe for a team that can go deep in the playoffs.
Okay, we'll be back with the second half in just a moment here at Toyota Center, where the Rockets have a lead. Well, Clyde, what's our Chili's essential ingredients tonight?
Well, for the second half, Bill, they got to continue with the stifling defense. The Hawks are having trouble putting the ball in the basket. They got to continue with the great ball movement for layups. And last but not least, more Yao.
I'll agree with that. Bart, over to you.
Yeah, Bill, talking to Jack Sigma coming out of the locker room, he said, what's not to like? He mentioned the ball movement, the 17 assists. He said they just want to maintain their intensity and stay on the boards because that's really the only way they see the Hawks can get back in this thing with those young athletic legs is to hit the boards and just outwork the Rockets.
Rockets, of course, look good on the stat sheet after the first half. Field goal percentage, look at that, 58 to 28%. Points in the paint. Rockets twice as many, and even second chance points. So the Rockets getting it done all up and down the stat sheet.
Very good on the stat sheet today.
Joe Johnson taking it in with the miss. Tipped outside. And Al Horford gets it back. He's averaging 9 rebounds a game.
You know, like most NBA teams will put up a fight in the second half.
Boy, Josh Smith is having to work extra hard for his shot, and Scola bumped him just a little bit, and he missed everything.
Well, you know Scola's going to put a body on you.
Yep.
And then the Hawks, they don't see a guy like Yao Ming every night.
Who does?
So he's kind of throwing them off base in their offense.
T-Mac, this is what he did against Cleveland. He came out in the third quarter and shot the Cavs right out of the game.
And if Horford doesn't show on that pick and roll, he'll have that shot all night long.
Yep. 59-31, 28-point lead now by the Rockets. Joe Johnson, they've just gone to individual play as Anthony gets it up and in.
Yeah, they have no continuity in their offensive game plan. They have no meat and potatoes, as I would call it. Who's their post-up guy? Who's going to shoot and distribute and create for everyone?
Yao with the Shanghai shake for 2. Well, they say they like to run, but in order to run, you have to control the glass. And that's something the Rockets are doing. Marvin Williams, nice little move.
So that's the answer to my question. They're creating for themselves. A lot of individual talent, but this is a team game.
You wanted more Yao? You're getting more Yao.
Oh, yeah. I like it.
Yao Ming with 18 points. And he made him change that shot. McGrady will pull up for a 3 and missed it. It goes out of bounds. Little heat check.
Yeah, you got to do that sometime. You make a couple in a row, you got to throw up the third one just to see if you're still hot. We call that, as you called it, a heat check.
Yeah, the Rockets are 3 for 8 behind the three-point line, 0 for 5 for Atlanta. Hawks have not made a 3. They don't shoot a lot of them, though. They're only 3 for 11 on the season as an average. Rockets, on the other hand, are 6 of 20. Marvin Williams again from the outside. Pretty good shooter for a big man. Marvin Williams is 6'9", 230.
Got a nice game, averaging 16 points a game.
He was on a great North Carolina team, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. The number 2 pick in the entire draft 3 years ago.
Yeah. 4 of them went in the first round. All 4 of the 5 players. Oh, that would have been a circus shot by McGrady. Didn't quite go in. Josh Smith, nice lead pass for Horford. That's the first time the Rockets have been a little tardy getting back on defense.
Yeah, the Hawks are going to just try to turn this game into an all-out track meet.
Yeah.
Because nothing else has worked.
Well, one way to solve that problem is make your shots. Rafer stripped to the ball. 11 seconds left on the shot clock. Rafer down the middle. Draws the foul. His penetration in the last month has been just fantastic. This is something he didn't do a lot of.
No, you're absolutely right, Bill. Let me elaborate a little bit more. I think Rafer realizes that his shooting percentages are not what they should be. So being a smart player as he is, he realized he needs to attack the basket and shoot that little teardrop. He's much more efficient. He creates for his teammates, and he's a better player when he does that.
Talk about turnovers. None.
And that's the benefit of having a Rafer Alston on the floor. He runs the offense to a fault. He doesn't turn it over very often, and he makes good decisions with the ball.
In the last 5 games, all 5 Houston wins. Rafer is averaging 12 points and 8 assists in those victories. And tonight, he has 10 points and 5 assists.
When you talk about point guards in the Western Conference, you got your hands full. Chris Paul, Darren Williams, Chris Nash, and Steve Nash. Did that ball go right through Yao Ming's hand?
Well, it was, yeah, and he blocked his own man. He blocked Rafer right out of the play. The backdoor cut with Yao on the assist. And a whistle and a foul on Joe Johnson. Let me ask you right now, there have been obviously some deals. The league, Shaq going to Phoenix, Pau Gasol going to L.A. What do you think that does?
Big moves for big teams. The rich are getting richer, shall we say. Great move by the Lakers to pick up Gasol. They're a much better team because of it.
Yao Ming, 20 points.
And Phoenix is now perhaps the team to beat in the Western Conference.
Really?
Yeah. Shaquille O'Neal can be a force at any time.
Knocked out of bounds by Houston.
He probably won't average more than 25 minutes with the Suns, but when he comes in, you're going to get a heavy dose of Shaq, cleaning up the offensive rebounds and just dunking in the low post.
Can he stay healthy?
That's the #1 question. But they won't change the way they play. They'll still up-tempo it, but you'll see he'll fit in nicely with that system.
Steal by Anthony Johnson, and he missed the dunk shot. Now the Rockets have the numbers at the other end. Rafer carried the ball.
Yeah, right in front of the official. It was quite obvious. Turned it over. Had no need to do that.
Now, with all these deals being made, do you think the Rockets say they don't feel any pressure? They feel like they've made some deals because some of their guys have, like Landry and Aaron Brooks and Scola's playing better, so they feel like they've made some deals.
I wouldn't change a thing. I just let this team continue to get better, work on their chemistry, and the future is very bright for the Houston Rockets.
Worst thing in the world is to feel pressured into making a deal. Sometimes those deals aren't very good, are they?
Quite often they're not.
Yeah, I like the makeup of the team we're seeing now and the new players that are starting to get more minutes.
Quality guys. The fans really love these guys. They're good in the community, and they're winners. And they're getting better, so you got to give them a chance to grow together. Keep them together for 2-3 more years, I would say.
And a tour.
Absolutely. Add a piece here and there. Yeah, get your chemistry together.
You've got the draft. You've got the offseason.
This team can be a real force in the Western Conference.
22-point lead by the Rockets. McGrady in and out on the 3. Horford with the rebound. Joe Johnson with the fake for the 3, goes for the 2. Childress got the rebound. So now the Hawks doing a better job on the boards. Horford with a charge.
Who? None other? Shane Battier.
Yep. It's either Battier or Scola. If one doesn't get you, the other one will.
And if they don't get the charge, Yao will get you with the block. So they got a great interior lineup with defense.
That's where I look at the Lakers now with Pau Gasol. That front line of theirs now.
Dangerous.
Really tough.
Think about when Bynum comes back.
Yeah. Well, there's the 3-point shot off the back of the iron. Last night, for instance, Pau Gasol, Childress with a layup. Pau Gasol and Kobe Bryant combined for 66 points. 12-4 run now by Atlanta. And it's a 20-point game. T-Mac goes to the basket, draws the foul. We have a timeout on the court. 5:34 left to play in the third quarter. And when we come back, T-Mac will be shooting 2 free throws. Rockets up 67-47 here in the third quarter, and the Rockets have a schedule coming up at home. The Trailblazers will be in Monday night, and the Sacramento Kings, since they have Mike Bibby back, they've been doing some wondrous things. Artest, Kevin Martin may be playing as good a basketball as anybody. The Kings destroyed Utah last night. So those are two tough games for the Rockets. The Blazers and the Kings will take the All-Star break and then come back and have to go to Cleveland for one game.
You know what makes those two teams tough? The fact that they're clawing, trying to get into the playoff race. So they're desperate.
Yeah. Well, it may be the last chance for Sacramento because they're chasing the Rockets in Portland. And they're going to have to beat the Rockets head on.
I agree. Kings head coach Reggie Theus is doing a formidable job in his rookie season.
D-Mac gets both free throws. Tracy with 10 points, 10 for Alston, 20 for Yao, and 10 for Scola. Rockets have spread it out. And an offensive foul is called on Josh Smith.
Offensive foul, number 5, Josh Smith is
third foul on Josh Smith. Yao's got his man sealed off. They go around to Battier, back to Scola. Now Scola will work on Smith. Scola, nice head fake, put it up and in. He was aware of Josh Smith being a good shot blocker, so he gave him a little fake.
Took it to the shot blocker. He got an easy layup. Scola is a physical presence. Josh Smith may not be ready for that.
Williams put the shot up. Yao trying to get the rebound and does. Brady in the corners, got Childress, giving him plenty of room. Nice pass to Yao, waits his turn, slams it home. T-Mac to the attack with his 6th assist. And Yao Ming with 22 points. And now, after that 12-4 run by Atlanta, the Rockets are on a 6-0 run.
And the Hawks have no answer.
They're going to take a timeout and talk it over. 4:23 left to play in the third.
Rockets putting it on the Atlanta Hawks 73-47 here in the third. And the Atlanta Hawks are not close to solving the puzzle that is the Houston Rockets tonight, Bill.
Well, there's a man that's working on a puzzle, too, with the Houston Texans, Gary Kubiak. We talked about AC Law, the Aggie in the house tonight. And there's Gary rooting another
Gary
Aggie
with the black
along.
shirt on.
Yeah.
Well, the Texans had a decent year this year.
Gary's done a terrific job. There's no doubt about it. I think they're going to be one of the most improved teams in the league this year.
Good point. They're only going to get better with that defensive line. They could be awesome.
7 seconds left on the shot clock. Did Bart say he was working on that puzzle?
Yes, he did. He loves puzzles.
Well, it must not be a very difficult. What kind of puzzle is it?
Well, it's free, so Bart likes it from that standpoint.
Yeah.
Well, it's 150 pieces. Okay?
Wow.
And they're all different shapes.
This could take a long time, folks.
How long does it take you, Bart? 15, 10 minutes?
Scola inside with a hook shot. Louis Scola.
I'll have this puzzle done before the Hawks have 70 points, I guarantee you.
Well, that might take a while. You're right. There's Josh Smith inside. They do not have a Hawk with over 8 points yet. Look at that Rockets defense.
Well, the Hawks can't shoot the ball tonight, and they're in a problem area for them. They cannot score.
Yeah, the Rockets protecting the paint so well, and they just can't get it inside. And then in frustration, Zaza Pachulia with the foul.
You see the field goal percentages. The Rockets clearly enjoying a nice advantage.
Scola to the basket, lays it up. Yao's got it. Yao back up. He misses. Battier gets it back. Oh, from the parking lot. T-Mac. Oh, man. That was from about the third story of the parking lot. 5 steps behind that line.
He's got that kind of range, and in a game like tonight, you got to try it.
Smith with another Atlanta miss. Pachulia gets it back. And finally, Atlanta gets a basket.
You still don't have a player who's got more than 8 points.
33% shooting by the Hawks. The Rockets shooting 54%. Pachulia had no choice but to foul Yao. He had him sealed off.
Pachulia is just, you know, he's played against Yao before, and he knows you cannot front Yao and then try to get around him after the ball is swung. So it's a tall order for anyone to guard Yao Ming one-on-one. You have to double Yao night in and night out.
10 for 13. That's about as efficient as you can get. And, you know, Yao this season is shooting 50% from the field.
As usual, very efficient for a big man. He shoots a lot of shots away from the basket. He's just got a phenomenal touch for a guy that size.
Well, in defense of Atlanta, and I don't want to make excuses for them, but they did play last night. They played a very tough game against Cleveland, then had to fly to Houston, and sometimes that NBA schedule
gets the best of you, but it happens to everyone.
That's right. It's happened to Houston, but I'm just saying that's what happened to Atlanta.
There's no sympathy.
No. You're right. I think the Rockets had the most difficult schedule of anybody to begin the season. Not only were they playing so many games on the road, they were playing against quality opponents.
The best opponents in the Western Conference for perhaps the whole first entire month of the season.
Rick's trying to teach his system. He was trying to find the right players to fit in, and he was having to do it on the road where you couldn't have a lot of practices. And that schedule looks pretty good for Houston, at least in the next couple of weeks.
Yes, it does. Very favorable.
They always say it evens out, doesn't it?
It usually does. Just keep your head up. Keep playing hard. Good things will happen.
Yao hustling down that court. Yao says, hey, forget about Shaq. I can run too.
When you reward the big man, it makes it work.
How about McGrady with 7 assists along with 10 points?
And there's a Sheldon Williams type.
Yep.
That's a guy who's a high draft pick by the Hawks last year, but he hasn't really fulfilled potential, shall we say.
Yeah, that potential gets a lot of coaches fired.
Another Duke player, I'm not going to say it, who could be overrated. Could be. I'm going to give him a couple more years before I make a decision.
Blocked by Yao Ming. Up ahead to T-Mac. He's got Austin. He's got Bonzi.
Tracy McGrady, the benefit of having him on the floor, he just makes the game so easy.
Rockets now with 5 players in double figures. AC Law to the basket for 2. T-Mac is having a large amount of fun tonight.
Yeah.
He's really enjoying himself. He's got 8 assists.
From a player standpoint, these are the kind of games you truly enjoy because you can take care of your business and relax and enjoy and watch the second unit play the last quarter of the game.
Well, that was a foul there. Scola. Boy, Scola, the tip of his finger is all the way back. Oh, he turned towards me, Clyde, and his finger has been dislocated, and he is over in the corner right now. And I think they were trying to pop it back into place.
And Keith Jones is on the case.
Oh, there it is, right there. So now Scola, he may have broken the tip of that finger. And no foul was whistled, of course.
There was no blood, no foul. He's a tough guy, though. He's not over there screaming. Looks like he's okay, though.
Well, that's Keith Jones, Rockets head trainer, said he's okay to go. They must have pulled it and popped it back, but when he looked at it about the same time I looked at it, I was having a problem.
It scared you, huh?
Well, it was turned backwards. The tip of his finger. It was
no pain, no gain.
The ring finger on his right hand.
Temporary setback. Come on.
How many times did you have that done?
A couple times. Yes. Hurts.
T-Mac for 2. Tracy McGrady.
Rockets executing their offense to perfection. The Hawks are offering no resistance.
30-point lead by Houston and a block by Yao, but a foul is called on Landry. I think Landry blocked that with his mouth.
If he didn't get it, Yao was right behind him.
Yeah.
He was sure to get it. Let's see what happens in this no-contact sport. Looks like to me Landry took an elbow to the chop.
Julia misses.
Watch this. Boom. Oh.
Man.
Boy, that hurts.
You think it's not rough in there? It's a good thing you're wearing that mouthpiece.
You see him sucking his lip. He'll be feeling that for at least 8 to 9 days. You know when it really hurts, like after the game, you try to get something to eat. Oh, man, that hurts.
Imagine. T-Mac for 3. McGrady just out for a little stroll in the park. He's just having a good time tonight.
He's got to take it easy out there. But you know what? He's such a smart player, very intelligent, high basketball IQ.
Foul called on Rafer Alston, and that's the 15th foul on the Rockets, so AC Law will shoot. Both teams in the penalty here with 15 seconds left. T-Mac with 15 points, 8 assists. The Rockets have 24 assists tonight. Remember, they had 29 against Cleveland Thursday night.
I don't think that's what the Rockets wanted. I think they wanted to let the Hawks have the last shot of the quarter without the foul. Why would you foul it, knowing you're in the penalty?
Sometimes that happens.
That's what drives coaches crazy.
Rafer takes it down the baseline. 12 seconds left for the Rockets. Back to Yao. Yao with a fake. To the basket. Lays it up. Missed it. Tipped up and in by Landry before the buzzer. How about that rookie? He's something. Yes. Yao Ming made the aggressive move, and Carl Landry got the tip just before the red light went off, and the Rockets outscored Atlanta 32-24 in the third quarter. And here we go to the final 12 minutes. The Rockets are up by 33. So the Rockets head into the final quarter now. It'll be Carl Landry, Bonzi Wells, Yao Ming, Steve Novak, and Aaron Brooks in the game for the Rockets. Now, working on Pachulia. Little hook pass to Bonzi Wells. Bonzi a little too close to Yao for that to be effective, and Williams takes it up and in.
The question is, how long will Yao play in the fourth quarter, being up 31 points?
Well, I guess it depends on what kind of start the Rockets get off to here in this fourth quarter. They are up by 31 points.
Yeah, I think this is where you rest him. It's a long season. Keep him healthy. Let him sit down and watch the second unit go to work.
Well, Yao said, I can be rested. Let me just stand out here at the top of the key. 28 points. He's going to get 30 and 10, and then you're going to see him rest, I think.
Yeah.
Yao had his career high against Atlanta of 41 points. There's a foul by Yao. Came back in the 2004 season, and he also recorded his career high of 7 assists in that game. That was that triple game that gets beat Atlanta 123 to 121.
There he is, Sheldon Williams. Second season in the league. You know, sometimes it takes guys a little bit longer to mature and fulfill their potential. But he was drafted pretty high.
4-year starter at Duke, and some people said you had enough forwards in this Atlanta team. What were you going and drafting another one for?
They thought he was the best player available at the time.
At the 5th pick. Aaron Brooks running the show. Shot clock down to 8 seconds. Now he's got to get it back from Yao, but he won't. Yao will fire it up. Missed it. Bonzi was there to clean it up. And he missed it. That ball was in and rolled out.
Wow.
Bonzi can't believe it.
Point blank layup. He hit his favorite spot on the backboard and it was in.
Well,
it was out.
It went in. It came out.
Now here comes Yao. Look at that. You can't get any easier than that.
So they're going to charge a timeout. They will. They'll charge a timeout. Does he want a 20 or a full? They're trying to decide. They'll take a full timeout. 10:24 left to play in the game. Rockets put this game away a long time ago, and it's time to check in on tonight's AIG Big Man Watch. Yao Ming took the rookie to school tonight, Al Horford.
Yeah, you can bet on that. Al Horford almost got his average. He's averaging 9 points, about 10 rebounds. But Yao Ming's too big, too strong, too skilled up. There he is using the left hand on the low block, taking it in, just elevating over the defense, off the glass, high. He doesn't see many big men night after night that can do the things on the floor that Yao Ming can do.
Yeah, you know, Horford's 6'10". He's a big guy, but he just next to Yao, he just looks so small. Zaza Pachulia off the glass. Now they will pressure the basketball, and Aaron breaks the press to Chuck Hayes. Bonzi Wells has Pachulia on him. Aaron Brooks got the three. That's what we want to see him do, and he is a much better three-point shooter than he has looked so far. He's been in a bit of a shooting slump. He's only a 26% three-point shooter, but he was much better in that in college.
Yeah, he can shoot the ball. I think the indecision, not knowing when to shoot and pass it, is really what's giving him problems right now.
Yeah, well, he just makes up his mind to shoot, but he hesitates.
Exactly. His feet are not ready.
Chuck Hayes, nice pass from Bonzi. Chuck not quite ready for it on the run.
You got to know your personnel.
It's only 10 turnovers by the Rockets. They've done another superb job tonight at protecting the basketball.
Yes.
How about that shot by Sheldon Williams?
That was ugly. That was ugly.
Carl Landry off the back of the iron. AC Law takes it inside, and Chuck with the foul. AC Law will shoot the free throws.
You know, Rick Adams was saying, get back on defense. The Hawks don't want to run any clock. It's the only chance they got to get back into this game is to turn it into a track meet.
AC's favorite became my favorite player when I found out who his great uncle is.
Who was?
Ernie Banks.
They're great. Let's play two.
That's
Ernie
right.
Banks.
That's right. So he's got a pretty good track record there.
I'd say he's one of the most beloved guys to ever play any sport.
That's right. We see him sometimes in L.A. He lives right there at Marina Del Rey. Oh, Carl Landry takes it up and in.
What the pump dunk. You don't see that from the big fellas too often.
He's amazing.
Yes, he is. Such an athlete.
You know, I look at Landry. He is listed at 6'9", What is he? Do you think he's about 6'8"?
I think he's actually 6'9".
Is he 6'9"?
Yeah, he's a big guy. He's got a big body. 6'8.5" on the low side.
That's money. Oh, wait a minute. What happened?
There was a draft. Someone opened the door in the arena. You don't see that very often from Steve Novak.
You really don't.
He can shoot the ball.
He got his Marquette team lost at Notre Dame today in a tough one that went right down to the final buzzer.
Notre Dame, they got off to a 2-2 start, but since then, they're doing some work.
And our Houston Cougars won again today. Tom Penders, that's win number 603 for Tom.
Eat him up. Eat him up.
Beat Tulane.
You can't have coffee without a cookie.
That's a good point.
And, of course, the cheesecake they have up here in the club level is very, very good. I sampled some of that tonight, too, guys.
Well, we wouldn't know. We wouldn't know, Bull.
Landry almost made a sensational move, just a little short on the shot, Mario West, and a blocking foul on Aaron Brooks.
Brooks might have been there, but when you're 30 points ahead, you don't get that call.
No. Bonzi Wells will come out of the game. He's got 11 points in 17 minutes. And Mike James will check in. So it'll be Mike James and Aaron Brooks, Carl Landry, Chuck Hayes, and Steve Novak.
Not a bad lineup.
You might have seen them together in the preseason. Last time this combo was played at the same time. AC Law with a miss. Pachulia tips it. They're going to say Hayes tipped it out of bounds. 7:24 left to play.
And the Chuck Wagon cannot believe it.
Well, you know what the Rockets did? They came out and took care of business, didn't they?
Yes, they did. Efficient. They were just so good on both ends of the floor. Just the Hawks had no chance.
That's what you talked about before the game is don't let them stay in it, a young team.
Put them away.
Put them away.
The more you do that, the more confidence these young guys get. The more playing time the young guys get as well.
Yep.
The better you're going to be in the second half of the season.
Hayes knocks it out of bounds. I think he's the best at that I've seen since Karl Malone.
Yeah, from the power forward position,
Yeah.
Chuck Hayes got the quick hands because he's not going to block any shots.
No. If you bring that ball down close to him, he's going to knock it away.
Oh, yeah. The only chance he's got.
AC Law just beats the buzzer. A lot of Aggies in the house.
AC Law is a good-looking rookie.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to take a little time.
Steve Novak with the fake. Got open, hit the two. No flops allowed. West with a miss. Getting it out to Aaron Brooks. See if he can turn it on now. He's got AC Law around in front of him. Takes it through, sets up Novak, short. And the long rebound back to Steve. Mike James will yo-yo it a few times. Crossover and palming on James.
3 carries in one game. Oh, man, we've seen something here tonight.
Timeout on the court. 5:56 left to play. That's the score in the game, 97-67. Let's take a look at tonight's Progressive Insurance Above the Rim replay.
Oh, Landry going up with the thunder dunk. On the feed from Chuck Hayes. Very seldom do you see 2 power forwards on the front end of a fast break.
Less than 90 points in most games. The Rockets 213 since 2002-2003. Detroit, San Antonio, and Houston. And so the defense has meant a lot to the Rockets over the last 5 or 6 years. Well, here tonight, 18,177. Another sellout for the Rockets this season. That's 15 on the season. The Rockets had their biggest crowd ever Thursday night, 18,402 against the Cleveland Cavaliers, and they follow it up with 18,177 tonight.
You got to love that. I think the city is getting behind this team, and I like what's occurring.
Well, they're fun to watch.
Yes, they are.
They're going to be 15-3 now over their last 18 games tonight. Hottest team in the NBA, along with the Utah Jazz.
Go back to that defensive graphic, allowing teams, keeping teams in the 90s. If you can add some offense with that, you can get busy. You can do something in the playoffs and have a chance for a title once again.
Fourth foul on Aaron Brooks after the errant pass.
And that's the reason why Les Alexander, Daryl Morey called upon Rick Adelman. If the defense is still good, if they can improve that offense, they're going to give themselves a chance, I believe, Bill.
Yeah, they talked to Daryl a couple of days ago after Shaq went to Phoenix, and they made the deal with Memphis for Pau Gasol, and he said he did not want to feel pressured to make a trade, because that's when you make a bad one. And I'm sure if somebody were to offer you a deal, I still don't know how Memphis gave up Pau Gasol.
They wanted to start over.
Yeah,
now Rudy Gay is the building block for that franchise, and a pretty good one.
I just don't think they got him there.
No, I don't. Kwame Brown, he's not bad, but he's not Paul Gasol.
As far as Crittenden's okay, 2 number ones are going to be LA's number ones, aren't they?
Yeah, which would be,
like
27,
a second round,
28.
Yeah.
Won't be a low number one unless Kobe gets hurt.
Well, all bets are off if he gets hurt.
You can say that about anyone, really. Duncan, Yao, McGrady.
Now, we talked so much about the Rockets. A lot has been said, especially Thursday night on that TNT game. They talked about the home record for the Houston Rockets, but I think the Rockets are looking more and more comfortable playing in this building, and they're 9-4 in this building. They'll be 10-4 tonight after this game with both Tracy and Yao. What a lot of people forget is when the Rockets played some of those home games earlier this year, they did not have McGrady.
Yeah.
And then when they lost to New Orleans, they didn't have Yao.
The thing is, you just got to hang in there and know that this is a very good Houston Rockets team.
Yeah.
They've dismantled the Hawks tonight. This has just been a shellacking. But they're getting better with each and every game. You can see the confidence, the continuity, and I like what I'm seeing. I love what I'm seeing.
And the Rockets have proved they can win on the road, which is what they'll have to do in the playoffs probably. And they've won 8 in a row on the road, and this will be their 6th win in a row. So if they can put some home wins together now over the last couple of weeks while they're at home, they're going to be right in the thick of this thing.
Yes, and that's what you want to do, to give yourself a chance. That's all you want.
That's a big game Monday night.
Oh, yeah.
That's Portland Trailblazers are still trying to get in there, but Yao and T-Mac right now are healthy. They're happy. They're playing there they are, taking some pictures, some of the fans.
Good to see them smiling. See, they needed a game like this. You always need games like this.
Like having the night off.
Exactly. I used to call it do your work early. And if you do, you get a chance to enjoy the rest of the game.
.422 left to play. Mike James. Carl taken inside, has it knocked out of bounds.
So Bill and Clyde, this is Bull. So the Rockets are getting well here on the Atlanta Hawks, but the Atlanta Hawks are a playoff team in the East.
That's right. They're the 7th seed, Matt, in the East.
So what does that mean? Does that mean like the East is not as good, or?
Well, if the Rockets were in the East, they would be the 4th seed right today.
That's right. If you took Cleveland.
So can we move farther east?
That's what Les Alexander needs to do, petition to go to the East.
Oh, no.
You know, Matt, maybe the league ought to think about reseeding teams after the season is
Yeah,
over.
I would agree with that. The West is very strong.
Yeah,
Too many teams.
It's a shame that there's so many good teams in the West, and the Rockets are only 5.5 games out of number 1 in the West. And you know, there's going to be teams in the East that make the playoffs that are just horrible.
Yeah. Well, that's true. You know, they're going to be 3 or 4 teams in the East under 500 that are going to make the playoffs, and they're going to be 3 teams in the West that are going to miss the playoffs over 500.
Way over.
And I don't think you should be penalized for winning 46, 47, 48 games.
No, but you know, it is what it is. It's competition. You know you got a lot of it. So if 47 is not enough, you got to get 52, 53.
It certainly would take somebody a lot smarter than the 3 of us to figure out how to reseed that. So maybe Bart could figure that out.
What you got, Hockey Bart?
Well, no, Bart's over there with a puzzle right now. Don't bother Bart.
It's only 150 pieces.
I've almost got it worked out.
Well, there's only 30 pieces in the NBA puzzle. Bart can figure that out.
I had Yao Ming's head on McGrady's body, so I knew something was wrong a minute ago.
Well, that's very good, Bart. Boy, I tell you, the guy catches on fast. Bart's right on the cusp of completing that puzzle. We'll be back to find out in a moment. Welcome back to Toyota Center. As you see, the Rowdies in good voice here tonight. Rockets with a big lead. You know, we just had a good point. Fran Blindberry of the Houston Chronicles sitting right behind us, and he was listening to the telecast, and he made a good point. He said, well, in 1981, would you have kept the 40-42 Rockets out of the playoffs? Because that team went all the way to the NBA Finals.
Moses Malone. Let me tell you something. That was a good team.
Of course, 40-42 might finish
6th, 7th seed.
in the middle of the pack here as we take a look at the Eastern Conference.
That's where the Rockets would be, 4th place in the Eastern Conference.
Well, it switches back and forth.
Which means they'd have the home court advantage in the first round.
Yeah, but that's not going to happen.
No, we're wishful thinking.
So what you have to do now is try to keep winning and finish as high as you can, and be thankful that you can win road games.
Exactly.
And this is a good road team. Long rebound to Mike James. Hits his own miss back. I like Mike. He said, hey, I'm going to get some shots up. Childress back the other way for 2.
Childress is really going to work. I used to call it garbage time. There's some good garbage players when I played.
Mike James trying to fit that basketball through a keyhole. That won't work.
Hey, Clyde, when you're playing, I mean, you talk about garbage time. I mean, there's a lot of players out there that can get it done in garbage time, but when it comes crunch time, they got nothing for you.
It's a different game, isn't it?
Hey, Bull, he hurt your feelings when he talks about garbage time, doesn't he?
Bull played in crunch time. Come on.
I was one of those rare players that got some crunch time.
And some garbage.
And some garbage time. No, but there's a lot, you know, when the bright lights are on and it gets to be, you know, tight out there, there's a lot of guys that run in high.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You know, they don't really hide. They just don't make themselves available.
They just can't make the plays, right?
Well, Clyde, you know, like in the end of a game in crunch time, you wanted the ball.
Oh, I had to. Hold up. I didn't want it. I had the ball.
Yeah. But there's a lot of guys who want the ball in garbage time, but when it comes crunch time, they're going to go in the corner.
Well, speaking of crunch time, let's talk about tonight's Landry signature group. Rockets player of the game, Yao Ming again tonight. 28 points, 9 rebounds, and 2 blocks. And a joke or 2.
And the Great Wall is having a wonderful time watching his teammates play in the fourth quarter.
Well, he's having a wonderful season, too. Across the board, Yao's number 11 in the league in scoring. He's number 7 in rebounding. He's number 8 in block shots. And he's averaging 37. He's one of the leaders with 37 minutes a game.
Wow.
Now,
that's a lot of minutes for the Great Wall.
Yeah, several years ago, you were lucky if you got 25, 26 minutes out of it.
Well, he now knows how to stay out of foul trouble.
Yeah.
And think about this. Now he got Shaquille O'Neal in the Western Conference again.
Yeah, that didn't make him too happy. Earlier this year when Shaq was healthy, he put a hurt on the Rockets. Rockets got beat in Miami. Both Wade and Shaq were healthy. Oh, good steal back by Brooks. Sets up Novak for the three. Boy, Novak knows how to get a shot up, doesn't he? 11 minutes, he has 9 points.
Don't leave him open.
4 for 6 from the field. Can that guy shoot?
One of the best in the league.
Hey, he's played some big minutes this season in a couple of games over the last couple of weeks. Did they count that basket?
I could not have called that continuation. He stopped it at the top of the key. He finished with the layup. That's a long continuation.
Well, the Rockets are going to win their 6th straight game. That's going to be the longest winning streak since they had 8 straight in the 2004-2005 season. And also 15-4 since January the 1st. And they know how to bring in the new year right.
Yes, they do. Let me tell you something. This Hawks team, they're pressing with 8 seconds to go, which means that this is a team that doesn't quit. They got no chance to come back and win the game. But I think it's the principle of the game.
Sure. These young guys are trying to make a team somewhere.
They're still competing.
Seconds, down to 1, and it's over. So the Houston Rockets take care of business early. They win their 6th game in a row. It's the Rockets 108 and the Hawks 89. Stay right here. Coming up after the break, we'll have complete post-game coverage on Rockets Live.